Okay, so this year one of the things we're going to do with vocabulary is look at suffixes and how suffixes can help us understand the meaning of words we may not be 100% sure of. Suffixes are combinations of letters that we put onto the end of words to change its meaning just slightly because we're going to make it into a different part of speech. So for example, we could add AL to the end of a word. AL means relating to. So if I take nature and I add AL on the end, I get natural. And the AL means it's relating to nature, right? So something that's natural relates to nature. Natural soap is a soap that's made out of nature, right? It's natural. Bacterial means it's relating to a bacteria. And typical means it's relating to a type. And so these are ways that we can help understand the meaning of words. Another word that makes adjectives, another suffix, is able or ible. Means exactly what we think it does, able. So if it's predictable, then you're able to predict. If it's visible, you're able to see it. If it's audible, you're able to hear it. Audio means sound, right? Vision means to see. Comparable means it's able to be compared. Observable means it's able to be observed, etc. IVE also makes adjectives, and so occasionally makes nouns, but usually adjectives. So it means it has the quality of something. So if it's massive, the IVE means it has the quality of a lot of mass, right? If it is expensive, it means it has the quality of being an expense. If it's secretive, it means the quality of having being a secret. And then ing, we add to the end of a base form of a verb to make the progressive tense, right? It's used with to be, a form of to be, is, am, are, was, were, will be. Hopefully you remember those from last year. So is running. We add ing to the end of run to make the progressive tense. Smiling is smiling. Was thinking, was sitting. Now, what you do have to be aware of is that these words with ing can be used as nouns and adjectives as well. We're going to look at that this year. So it's important to know when it's being used as a verb, you are going to have these helping verbs in front. Is, am, are, was, were, will be. And then, of course, ed makes the past tense of verbs. So sorted, wanted, cried, unified, seemed, curbed, right? We make the simple past tense with ed. These could also be used as adjectives. The wanted poster, for example, right? So again, you have to make sure that it's being used as the verb and not as some other part of speech. But typically, ed does make the past tense of a verb. To make a noun, we'll add ness on the end of something, particularly an adjective. So, for example, happy, right? I feel happy. Happy is an adjective. We add ness on the end, and now it's the state or quality of being happy. It's now the thing, right? I feel happy. Happiness is the thing that I have, right? Messiness is a thing. Quietness is a thing. Darkness is a thing. Dark, something can be dark. That's an adjective. Darkness is the thing. These will make abstract nouns. We looked at that in our noun unit. And so be aware that when you see ness, you most likely have some type of abstract noun in front of you. tion and sion also make nouns, right? So something like explosion, right? So it has the quality or state of exploding, right? That's what an explosion is. A discussion is the thing we discuss. That's the verb. The discussion is the thing, right? You might permit. That's the verb. Permission is the thing. You might compose. That's a verb. Composition is the thing. And then is is added onto the end of verbs, and it is also a thing. In this case, it's usually the result of a process. So, for example, if you hypothesize, the hypothesis is the thing you end up with, right? If you analyze, which means to break something down to small parts, the analysis is what you end up with at the end. if you synthesize something, meaning bringing in things together and combining them, then the thing you end up with is your synthesis. Okay, so that is IS. And then ER or OR we use in order to take a verb and make it into a person. So it's the person who performs the action, the person or the thing. So a writer writes, a dancer dances, a teacher teaches. And then ly makes adverbs. We usually add them onto like an adjective, like loud, and it means the manner in which you did something. So you may have a loud child, the child screamed loudly. So loud modifies child, but loudly is the way in which they screamed. So it modifies the verb, right? So when we see ly, we typically have an adverb, and an adverb will modify the verb, right? So secret is a thing, secretly is the adverb. You might be polite, so you do things politely. If someone is rude, they're acting rudely, right? And so that's the kind of the distinction between being adjective and adverb.